Good late afternoon, YouTube. How you guys doing? Dirk here, GC Blues 45. Folks, it is heating up in the NHL. We're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Only a handful of games are left. Basically, each team has at least 1 to 2 games left. It's really heating up. There is no official locks, folks. No official locks yet. But things can happen. Now, by the way, the last pregame report I did was on the 7th. How did I do? I went 6-3-2, down to put me at 183, 110, and 38 for the year, with a handful of games left. So, yeah, it's getting very hectic, folks. Now, folks, as you know, my Blues are knocked out of the playoffs, so I'm not too happy about that. But, folks, the Blues gave it up their all, and I want to give them props. Um, I think when I did my team previews and my predictions for this year, which I did last year, I pretty much jinxed the Blues like I jinxed the Rangers last year. Literally. But that's a different video for a different time, so let's get right into this. Remember, folks, if you haven't come across this video, let's get that thumbs up duel going. It's very important. It helps to keep the channel going, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe icon and be notified every time I upload a new video by clicking the bell icon. And tell your friends, folks. Literally, tell your friends that, hey, there's this guy in Grand City, Illinois. He has a pretty good YouTube channel called GC Blues 45. He shows off his jerseys that he gets new ones on. He got soccer. He has um, baseball ones and stuff. And he loves showing them off. But he does a pretty good NHL report, so check him out. Tell your friends. Say it like that. You can if you want to jazz it up a little bit. Okay, now, folks, I'm even going to give you playoff scenarios, despite um, nothing real official yet, but anything could still happen, folks. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. We're going to start off with the Eastern Conference matchup between the Red Wings at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, this is a divisional matchup. Both teams are not looking in, and I'll explain why. Here we go. The Red Wings have been mathematically out of it now. No chance for them to get in. So pretty much this is a game for the Lightning. They have to win this game to stay competitive with the Sabres tonight. And we'll get to that when we get to the Sabres part. So this is a 7 o'clock Eastern game. Currently Detroit is 41, 30, and 9 and 91 points. Way to go for Detroit. Good going for them. They tried. 91 points is pretty good, but you know they can get more points going into the next game. The Lightning are 49, 25, and 6 and 104 points. They're in the hunt, folks. They have clinched the playoff spot. They're in. But who's going to win the Atlantic? Okay, who's going to win the Atlantic division? And let's get into that real fast. Click on the winning numbers here. Okay. If the Lightning win tonight, they pretty much will be at 106 points, and they can bump the Sabres. Bump the Canadians. They can bump them tonight. And so that could be interesting. Now, if the Lightning lose tonight, then their possibilities of winning the Atlantic Division will go up in smokes, and then between the Canadians and the Sabres. So the scenario is this: Lightning win tonight. Their magic number will go down to 2. So this got a lot of potential to it tonight. And the money line, folks, as you know, I give you the money line. The money line has the favor. The Lightning as the favorites as a minus 198 to a plus 164. So you pretty much know who I'm leaning for. But folks, that tells the stats going into this game tells a different story, and we're going to get to that. All right, this is the final game between these two teams. Tampa Bay leads the series 2-0. 2-1, sorry. Detroit took the first game in October in overtime. Detroit took the last two. Now they're back in Tampa because the first two meetings were in Detroit. The last two were in Tampa, so we'll see what can happen. Can Detroit do it? We'll find out. So here we go. First off is power play percentage, and it favors the Red Wings at 23.1 to 21.1. So pretty close. 2% separates 11th and 16th place. Penalty kill percentage favors the Lightning. Big time. Third place to 22nd. 82.5% for the Lightning, 77.4% for Detroit. But see the big gap? So 19 teams are better than Detroit. And Tampa is one of them. So it's 1-1 in the stats. Goals for per games played favors the Lightning at 3.5 in fourth place and 2.94 for Detroit in 20th place. So you see where it's. Oh, by the way, penalty kill or power play, Detroit's 11th and the Tampa is 16th. So you can see how close it is with that. Now, goals against per games played, it also favors the Lightning. 2.78 in third place and 3.03 14th place. So you can see. So three out of the three out of the five stats favor the Lightning. Oh, face-off percentage favors the Red Wings at 50.8% in 12th place, and they're ranked 12th. And the Lightning are 47.5%, 28th. So once again, 3 out of 5 stats favor the Lightning. But this is the determination right here. The last 10 games. Now, currently, the Detroit Red Wings are in the last 10 games 3-6-1. It's currently on a 1-game losing streak and a total of only 7 points. The Lightning are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games, currently on a 1-game winning streak and a total of 11 points. So you pretty much know who I'm going for. I'm going for Tampa because I think Tampa can do it. I'm really seeing them pulling off, lowering that magic number, and probably leapfrog the Canadians. And I'll take a look at that later. Okay, so here we go. You can watch this up in Canada on TVA Sports, the Spot Channel 66 up in Tampa, and finally, FanDuel Sportsnet Detroit. You can watch this game on. Now, next is the Rangers at the Panthers. Now, both teams are mathematically out of it, so we don't have to look at no playoff stats. Florida, what can I say about Florida? The defending Stanley Cup champions, mathematically out. They had a good run. I think what cost them was not having Brady Tkachuk for most of the season for a while. I think that's what cost them. And and for the Rangers, celebrating 100 seasons, man, that's pretty great. Um, really don't want to say much. Both teams did great. Final meeting between these two teams, pretty much, besides the Winter Classic, which I'll get to in a moment. So here we go. Rangers are 33, 38, and 9, and 75 points. The Panthers are 38, 38, and 4, and 80 points. So you got good conference matchup here, interdivisional. A lot of things can happen. Excuse me. Rangers are the favorites at minus 155 to plus 130. So we're going to go take a look at the stats here. And as you know, the first game between these two teams, they were in the Winter Classic, and the Rangers beat the Panthers 5-1. Then in March, Rangers won again, 3-1. This time at Madison Square Garden. So this time they're at the Panthers Arena. The first meeting was the Winter Classic at the neutral site at um, Lone Depot Park, aka Marlins Park. So this is the third site that these two teams are taking on each other. So we'll see what can happen. It's the rubber match. Can Florida pull it out? That's the thing. Stat wise, Rangers for power play, penalty kill, Panthers, but not by much. It's 5 spots, but still not by much. Face off, Rangers. Games for per games played, Panthers. And game goals against per games played, Rangers. And the Rangers are 5-5-0 with 10 points in the last 10 games, currently on a 2-game losing streak. The Panthers are on a 1-game winning streak, 3-6-1 in the last 10, and a total of 7 points. Tough to say. Panthers have more points overall. The last 10 they don't. Currently on one. I'm going to go for the underdogs on this one. I'm going Panthers on this. So let's hope for the best. And you can watch this on MSG and Script Sports Florida. And by the way, that's also at 7 o'clock Eastern. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, it's the Hurricanes at the Flyers. Now, already, the Hurricanes have won the Metropolitan Division, so this is good. But the Flyers, they really haven't locked in their playoff spot yet. They're not locked in. So this game to have the Flyers must win this game because if they do, they get the third seed. But don't forget, the Capitals and the Blue Jackets are right there. Let's take a look at the playoff stats before I give you this matchup. Okay, basically, Flyers win, they're in. They got the third seed. Pretty much, they'll lock it in. But it'll be the Battle of Philadelphia. You know what? No, sorry, it'll be the Battle of Pennsylvania. Flyers, Penguins, both in Pennsylvania. How cool would that be? So, like I said, the Hurricanes already locked in the Metropolitan Division. So the Flyers need to win this game. But a loss means that the Capitals have a chance. Same thing with the Blue Jackets. Now they don't play until later on, coming up. So this is a perfect opportunity for the Capitals and the Blue Jackets to leapfrog into that third spot and take it. So we'll wait and see what can happen. Oh, so yeah. And as for losing numbers, once again, if the Flyers lose tonight, they will not get that third seed. And that will give them a prime opportunity for the Capitals or the Blue Jackets to take it. So, yeah. So, here we go with the matchup. Hurricanes are 52, 22, and 6, and 110 points. Flyers are 41, 27, and 12, and 94 points. But let me double check that. Let me double check that. Yeah, and 94 points. And the Flyers are the favorites at a minus 162 to a plus 136. And let's check the stats. Final meeting between these two teams. The first two meetings, Carolina won both, and both of them had to go to extra time. Or actually, all three meetings had to go to extra time. So this is going to be a critical matchup, and it looks good for both teams. And the stats all favor Hurricanes. Hmm. And both teams are 7-3-0 in the last 10. With the Hurricanes at 14. Oh boy, oh boy. But the Hurricanes are on a 3-game winning streak, and the Flyers are on a 1. So I'm going for the underdogs on this one. I'm going Carolina, and this is why. I'll tell you why I'm going for Hurricanes. Well, one reason, the stats favor all Hurricanes. All the stats favor the Hurricanes. Second, the Canes are on a 3-game winning streak currently. So that's another thing. So that's why I'm going for the Hurricanes in this game. Now you can watch this on FanDuel Sportsnet South, which is Carolina. Okay, you could probably see it in the Nashville area. You could, probably could. No, you cannot, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And NBC Sports Philadelphia. So okay, at 7:30 Eastern, it is the Dallas Stars at the Maple Leafs. Now the Stars, they're pretty much in the playoffs. The Maple Leafs, let's see here. Let's take a look. No, the Maple Leafs are eliminated. Sorry. So they're taking on a team that's already knocked out, as you know. So this is a good chance for the Stars to probably, well, they're not going to get to the division, so this gives them more leverage going into their playoff series against the Wild that they're going to take on the Wild. So currently, the Stars are 48, 20, and 12 and 108 points. Toronto's 32, 34, and 14 and 78 points. Stars are the favorites at minus 192 to plus 160. But folks, you know I'm a sucker for the stats. Final meeting between these two teams. Dallas took the first meeting in December, 5-1. Wow. And it was in Dallas. Now they're back in Toronto. So let's see what can happen. Stat wise. Two stats favor the Leafs, penalty kill and face off, while power play, goals for per games played, and goals against per games played favored the Stars. So I will go Dallas on this one. Sorry, Grant. I don't see it happening. By the way, quick shout out to Grant Joseph, who I follow on Facebook. You're pretty cool, but like I said, I don't see it happening. And it shows right here. The Stars are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games with a total of 11 points. The Maple Leafs, they are currently on a 5-game losing streak and total 7 points, 6-3-1 in the last 10. So that's why I'm going for Dallas. And you can watch this on Prime, which is pretty much in Canada, Prime in Canada, and Victory Plus in Dallas. Like I said, sorry, Grant. I really don't see it tonight. All right. At 8 o'clock Eastern, it is the Minnesota Wild at my Blues. Now, despite the Blues being mathematically out of it, the Blues are playing their final 2 home games today, and there's another game tomorrow. So here we go. Currently, the Wild are 45, 23, and 12, and 102 points. They could now the Wild they can pretty much lock in their third seed coming, and the Blues are 34, 33, and 12 and 80 points. Moneyline has the Blues at that's the favorites as minus 185 to plus 154, and doesn't matter what happens, folks. You see me wearing my Blues jersey. I'm going Blues 100%. I will never backstab the Blues. I'm sorry. And you guys could say, "Oh, take off your Homer hat, GC Blues." Never. I love my Blues. Okay. Now the Blues took the last meeting, which was in Minnesota, and now they're back in St. Louis. So the series is tied 1-1. See what happens tonight. Stat wise, one favors the Blues, and that is the face-off. Everything else favors Minnesota. And also, Minnesota is on a 2-game losing streak, 6-4-0 in the last 10 with a total of 12 points. The Blues are 6-3-1, currently on a 1-game winning streak, a total of 13 points. So, and you can watch this on FanDuel Sportsnet Midwest, FanDuel Sportsnet North, and FanDuel Sportsnet Wisconsin. All right, now we get ready for the Predators. Now, folks, there are 2 FanDuel Sportsnet Souths for Nashville and Carolina. You can't see Carolina games in Nashville tonight. You'll be seeing your team. So, I told you so. This game is at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's the Sharks at the Predators. Now, the Predators, they're still looking in. So, let's take a look at the Western Conference picture. Winning numbers. Okay. Sorry, no, I gotta go to losing numbers. Okay, the Predators still have a chance. If they win tonight, they still could possibility make the playoffs. But you got the Kings in the mix. You got the Mammoth in the mix still. And you got the Jets and the Sharks still in the mix. Now, if the Sharks lose tonight, it's good. For the Sharks, they are out. No doubt about it. So the Sharks got to win this game. But the Predators win, they still got a chance. But folks, I have seen crazier things happen. Now Minnesota beats the Blues and the Predators lose. It's and the Kings clinch their spot. They get their spot with a win tonight. And I'll get to that in a moment. But if the Predators win, Wild lose, which I predicted, Predators still had that chance and they could probably leapfrog the Kings tonight. That's a different story for a different time. Yeah. So this is gonna be wild, folks. It's gonna be wild. It's hectic, contagious. So, um, so let's get into the matchup. The Sharks are currently 37, 34, and 8 and 82 points. Nashville is 38, 32, and 10 and 86 points. So they're near each other point wise and record wise. Now, this is a good interdivisional but great conference matchup, and anything can happen. The Predators are the favorites at minus 155 to plus 130. So, who I got? Finally, between these two teams, Nashville took both meetings in March and then um, 11, no, 9 days ago. So we'll see what can happen. And stat wise, four out of the five stats favored the Predators. The only one that favors the Sharks is goals for per game. Sharks are 5-3 and 0. 5-3 and 2 in the last 10 games, currently on a 3-game losing streak, and a total of 12 points. The Predators are 5-4 and 1 in their last 10, currently on a 1-game winning streak, and a total of 11 points. I'm going Predators on this one because I really see them doing it. I think they can really get the momentum going and actually score and win this series. So that's what I'm going for. And it's adios guppies. Yeah, the Sharks will be eliminated. Basically, I know you guys like them, Michael. And you can watch this on FanDuel Sportsnet South in so and NBC Sports California. Okay. At 8:30 Eastern is the Buffalo Sabres at the Chicago Blackhawks. So this is another interdivisional interconference matchup. Now, Buffalo, they can pretty much clinch the Atlantic Division tonight. They can, and let's get to that real fast. Let's give you the stats on that game. Okay, go to the east again. Magic numbers. Okay. All right. If the Sabres win tonight, they will take that magic number down to 1. Now, as you know, I already did the Lightning. They went tonight. They get their magic number down to 1 also. Or should I say down to 2? No, sorry. Yeah, down to 2. And the Canadians, well, they probably will get leapfrogged, and their magic number will be down to 3. Or up to 3. So, this is going to be pretty tight going into the final games. And pretty much the Lightning tonight will leapfrog the Canadiens. We're going to have a three-way heat with 106 points. But now, here's the catcher. If the Sabres lose tonight to the Blackhawks, the Lightning will then leapfrog all the way up to number 1. Pretty much. So this has a lot of potential to it, folks. So anything can happen in this crazy season. Now let's get to this matchup. The Sabres are currently 49, 23, and 8, and 106 points. The Blackhawks 28, 38, and 14, and 70 points. By the way, big turnaround from last season for the Sabres. Totally out of it last season, and then somehow they got the right people, clicked, and bam, they made it. And I'm totally surprised on how good they did. And they were pretty much in it all season. And that big, huge run going into Christmas break and then continuing going into the Olympic break. With a few glitches here and there, but the Sabres have been pretty much on fire this season. Currently, the money line has the Sabres as the favorites at minus 205 to plus 170. And the final meeting between these two teams, first meeting was in Buffalo in November. Final meeting today. Here we go. Ooh. Three out of the five stats favor the Sabres. The only two that favor the Blackhawks are the penalty kill and the faceoff percentages. So, okay. And the Blackhawks, I'm going to start off with the Blackhawks 2-7-1 in the last 10 with a total of 7 points. Currently running a 3-game losing streak. And the Sabres are 5-3-2, currently on a 3-game winning streak. And a total of 12 points. So I am going to go Buffalo on this. They're going to look good, I think. And you can watch us on Chicago Sports Network and MSG Buffalo. Next is the Avalanche at the Oilers. That's right, the Edmonton Oilers are playing against the Colorado Avalanche. And the Oilers, they can clinch a playoff spot too tonight with a win. And the Avalanche, well, they can just continue their dominance. Already, the Avalanche has the Central Division. They have the President's Trophy. They have the entire Western Conference playoffs all locked in. So they got all three. They got the division, President's Trophy, and the Western Conference. Not more you can say, right? Currently, and by the way, this game is also at this game's at 9:30 Eastern. 9:30 Eastern. Currently, the Avalanche are 52, 16, and 11, and 115 points, folks. The Oilers are 40, 30, and 10, and 90 points. And folks, you know how much I hate the Avalanche because of their owner. So I'm going Edmonton on this one. Automatically, I'm going for Edmonton. But as you know, stats say different things, so let's take a look at it. The series is tied 1-1. Final meeting between these two teams. The first meeting was in Edmonton. Second meeting was in Colorado. Back in Edmonton tonight. So we got a good one. And yeah, it was. Three out of the five stats favor the Avalanche. Power play and um, face-off percentage favor the um, Oilers, but on the face-off percentage, it's not by much. Only 0.7% separates sixth and eighth place in that. So yeah, the same thing with goals for per games played. It's pretty close in that one between first and fifth place. So yeah. And the last 10, Avalanche are 6-3-1, currently on a 1-game losing streak, and a total of 13 points. Well, the Oilers are also on a 1-game losing streak, 6-3-1, also, a total of 13 points, also. But I remain my pick. Now you can watch this on Sportsnet West, TVA Sports, Altitude, your home for even Nuggets basketball, and Up in Denver, KTVD TV in Denver. Also at 9:30 Eastern is the LA Kings at the Seattle Kraken. Now this game has a lot of potential to it. Let's explain it real fast. Gotta go to the Western Conference once again. Losing numbers. Okay. All right, Kraken are already mathematically out. Now, if the Kings win tonight, they can pretty much get into the playoffs and pretty much get close to the Ducks and say, hey, we're still here. Yeah, believe it or not. But a loss tonight means another team could take the place, which could be the Predators tonight. So a lot of things can happen. And also, the next game I'll mention, another team could be eliminated tonight. Yeah. So anything could pretty much happen tonight. And as for the winning magic numbers, LA, well, for them to get in, they gotta win. They can. I don't see them winning the division. No, actually, 4 points separates the first and um, the team. So, um, they still got a chance for the division. Kind of weird. So here we go. Here's the matchup. How it breaks down. The Kings are 34, 26, and 19, and 87 points. The Kraken, who are already mathematically eliminated, are 34, 34, 11, and 79 points. The Kings are the favorites at a minus 175 to a plus 145. And, boy, this is going to be a good matchup, I think. Kings need to win this game, definitely. And it is also the final between these two teams. Um, Seattle took all three meetings, so the Kings definitely need this one. They gotta win it. Stat wise, 3 out of the 5 stats favor the Kings, while the only ones that favor the Kraken are power play percentage and goals for per game. Everything else favors the Kings. And the Kings are 6-3, 6-1-3 in the last 10 games, currently running a 4-game winning streak and a total of 14 points in the last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Kraken are on a 2-game winning streak, 3-5-2 in the last 10 games, and a total of 8 points. So I am going to go Kings on this one. I hope they can do it. I really hope they can. And you can watch us on ESPN tonight. That's right, it's on ESPN tonight. It's going to look good. And now, finally, folks, the Winnipeg Jets at the Golden Knights. Now, remember I told you there might be another team that might be safe. That's the Jets. They could say hasta la vista playoffs tonight if they lose to the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, which will totally help out the Predators. But once again, if the Predators lose tonight, there. Yeah. So this is very important game. So Jets win tonight. They still got a mathematical chance, but loss. And this has been a good, not good turnaround season for the Jets. Lately, though, they have been on a good run of late, so that's helping. But is it too little too late? So let's get to this matchup. The Jets are 35, 32, and 12, and 82 points. The Knights are 37, 26, and 17, and 91 points. And by the way, the Knights, they can clinch the Pacific Division tonight practically if they win. So a good win. But folks, I don't see the Pacific Division being clinched until the final days, which up till tomorrow, all the way up to Thursday, folks. So that's why I'm saying this. So a lot is up for grabs, folks. In Vegas, 37, 26, 17, and 91 points. Vegas is the favorites at a minus 185 to a plus 154. Let's look at the stats. Following between these two teams, series is tied. One game all. Anything can happen, folks. And first meeting was it? First two meetings were in Winnipeg. They're in Vegas tonight. Can Vegas take the rubber match? They pretty much can. Stat wise, all favor Vegas. Few pretty close, especially the goals against per game. That is very close between these two teams. So yeah. In the last 10 games, the Jets, like I said, they've been on a good roll of late. 7-3-0 in the last 10 games and a total of 12 points. While the Knights are 6-1-3 in their last 10 games, currently running a one-game winning streak, while the Jets are running a one-game losing streak, and a total of 15 points. I am going Vegas on this one, and tonight we'll be saying, sorry, Jets, you're out. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the Jets being eliminated tonight. Now you can watch us on TSN3 and Script Sports in Vegas tonight. And folks, that is it. We are done for this pregame report. Thank you very much for tuning in. Now, folks, we will have a standings update, and I will double check everything, see where everything is, and much, much more. So we will have a standings update. And folks, I love you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, folks, please stay safe. Take care. My Lord's watching ya. And I'll see you guys soon. And until then, peace.